that note with Parker Whirling.
Go hang out. That's just not happening right now.
You're stoked in the moment.
I'm stoked and not even that. I kind of know in the moment it's not gonna happen. But who am I to rain on that parade?
Yeah, you don't want to be the one that's like
I'm too busy.
not gonna do it.
No, or I'm too busy because it's never because I don't want to.
Exactly.
I'm not. It's just like realistically working 4 days a week, gigging the other two, like trying to still have some semblance of being at home, which is hard to make.
It's hard, but I think if for me, if I make the plan on the first text,
then it can.
It can
I
happen.
agree. You can't just push it
But if
off.
you're like, let's do it sometime, that literally just happened. Sorry to my boy Luke. We were like, dude, let's hang out this week. Never figured out a day or time, and that's on me. I should have done it.
Yeah.
But if you do it in that moment, like it will.
Okay, Luke. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, my buddy Luke and your brother Luke.
Yeah, exactly.
Sick, dude. Well, Atticus Roness made sure to get your name right this time.
You did.
With the Banana Bliss Waterloo.
Yeah, oh, that's a great name.
What do you think?
Waterloo, also nice touch. As you
Waterloo
know.
Sunset, that's right.
R.I.P.
I know, dude. R.I.P.
It's really sad.
Where the record store you worked at, how I met you.
Yeah.
And we played it. That's right.
Yeah. Do you remember our first date?
I do. Yeah. I saw that post that they had the Corduroy Blue.
Oh yeah.
Playing, and I was like, whoa, who are these guys?
This is cool. Check this out. And it's pretty good music.
And yeah, that was
record store.
About 4 years ago. That sucks. It's done.
Yeah. I mean, they turned it into a bin store. So basically, it's like
a bin store.
Basically, a bin store is like random items, anything from like cooking appliances to like duct tape.
Oh.
And the price changes every day or whatever.
Oh. Okay.
So I went in the other day just to check it out, and I was messing with the boss man, and I was like, this is either the weirdest record store I've ever seen, or it's the coolest bin store I've ever seen, because some of the record remnants are still around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the same.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, he's the only record store I would really work for, just because, working at a record store is fun, obviously, but it's, it's not sustainable money necessarily. But, I would go back and work for him because I love working for him. And if you ever made like a record store in the city where people would actually specifically come, I would definitely work for him. But otherwise,
it's not the same.
No, it's not the same without him.
It was a cool place, man. And
awesome. And you got to, we really got to kind of like crown that other location with that awesome show we did.
Yeah.
Really cool.
MTA Fest. I want to talk about some Mockingbird.
Yeah, we'll get on to it. That's why we got the mics in our mouth.
That's right. Well, I'll make a little announcement to the viewers here and listeners that this is my first episode in a long time. I moved into a new space, so that was part of it. And also I was just like overwhelmed trying to figure out how to get it started again, so that's why it
busy
took a
making
while.
Viral TikToks.
Yeah, one viral TikTok that has no replay value because it was about a show that happened. But yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. You're the easiest first guest to have, and also thank you for being persistent in making me do this. This
Always.
is a pattern in my life. Spencer Thomas also had to be persistent in making me start the podcast in Athens in person. So now we're here and we're doing it. So I appreciate you being here. My guinea pig for the very first episode back.
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink, as you said earlier. Let's talk about last night. Last night you played with Drew Beskin and Broasis, the Oasis cover band.
Oh yeah.
How was that at the Battery?
So I mean, I do cover gigs, at bars, whatever, for a little extra cash. It is what it is, right? Like I don't put I think a lot of artists get down, I can't play my own songs. Like my brain's not in that space. Like for me, it's just, playing covers. Obviously not my favorite thing to do, except when it's Oasis. There's just something so though their worst songs are some of the worst songs I've ever heard. And their best songs are pulsing through your veins, insane, intense. Big. They make you want to run through 8 brick walls. And so I've known Drew, who kind of runs things over there at Broasis. Drew Beskin, a dear friend, has one of the I think one of the people that has helped my career the most in terms of breaking through to Athens.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's been a huge help for me. And I mean, it's not like it's work for him. I think he believes in it. I think he loves it, but no doubt been a huge help for me, especially in Athens specifically. Anyways, so And I think you talked about my persistence. I think that's something that a lot of people in the music industry around here could definitely testify about me, is the persistence and the dedication to what I'm doing, and, the desire to make things happen. And, it started a few years back when Drew had me, play some guitar on Master Plan when they're at Terminal West, or play some guitar on Champagne Supernova a couple years ago. So I've been, joining them on stage as a special guest a couple years running now. And they needed somebody to fill in. And it was the easy, I didn't even let him finish the sentence.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll be Liam. Easy money, lad.
That is so sick.
Yeah, so we did it a few weeks back, and it sounded really good. And then they needed another fill-in last night at I think a pretty high exposure gig there at Truist Park. And it just felt right, felt really good. Set was cut short because as beautiful as the World Cup is, you can't turn the game off if it's tied going into penalties, and that was cutting into our set time.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We're waiting. I didn't even care I had $5 on Senegal. I didn't even care at that point. I was like, just go, just
Dude,
score.
I wanted Senegal to win so
I know that. I
bad.
thought they were. I really thought they were. We were all shocked. We were like, oh my God.
I hate that
Senegal
that was the
messed
one,
us up.
Yeah, that was the one game I missed yesterday because I was working, and I'm like, I saw it later. I'm like, oh, it's 2-0 Senegal, nice. And then I checked back later, like they're in PKs right now.
3-2. Yeah, we painstakingly did not miss that show because we were waiting for that gig or that. Oh my gosh, that game.
Yeah.
Because that was when we were going to perform, was after that game before the U.S. and the Braves game. So it cut into our set time, but had a great time. Documented it, really great. Like I said, not the biggest fan of doing covers all the time, but like three things would keep me doing that, which is Drew Beskin, Oasis, and the money's all right. So.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Drew Beskin. Truly one of the most selfless musicians and people
really
in the
good
music industry I've ever met. Just such a good person. Loves to connect people. Loves to help you out in any way he can. I feel the same way about him. Meeting him, he's the whole reason I moved to Athens in the first place. He just introduced me to Tommy, who ended up becoming my roommate. And
how did you connect with him at all in the beginning?
I think it was Patrick Doherty over at Racket Recording. I asked him, I'm like, who should I want to meet people when I come to Athens, who would be somebody to meet? And he said Drew. So then when I met him, he was like, you got
prime
meet
choice.
Tommy. Yeah, great choice, truly. He is like the mayor of that scene,
The mayor of Normaltown.
That's the mayor of Normaltown. So yeah, shout out to Drew. But let's get into the album you picked today, which is Led Zeppelin's 2. What made you choose this one? You were very meticulous about which one you were going to pick.
Yeah, you saw me even break out 4 at first, and I put it back.
Something like that.
And I
Yeah.
took 2. It's because I didn't know you had to. I was going to pick 4 until you had to, because 2's, to me, my favorite Zeppelin record. I think everybody goes back and forth on that. I think anything. I think the acceptable choices would be 1, 2. Sorry, 3. 4,
Yeah, it doesn't have quite the staying power.
Or even Physical Graffiti. I've heard some people say it wouldn't be my choice, but there's some bangers on that. But especially 1, 2, and 4, you can really. At that point, it's just preference, because they're all 3 of the greatest rock and roll records ever made.
You didn't even think about Houses of the Holy.
It's a good record.
Love
It's
that
a great.
one.
I think it's funny. There are Houses of the Holy People where it's like that is their best album by far. I have a soapbox to stand on. It's that Robert Plant's voice on that really bothers me at a lot of points. But it's because of records like this, I'm used to a certain, I think, quality and consistency from him. And Houses of the Holy, I think sometimes it lands for me, his voice, and sometimes it doesn't. And if I feel that way about that, and I don't feel that way about 1, 2, or 4,
Sure.
I'm going to pick those 3.
Yeah.
But anyways, this one, so the album I'm putting out is called Rock and Roll Hit Parade.
That's right.
And I felt like
Love Bomb's out now.
Love Bomb's out now. Next one's to come. And I just felt like nothing really embodies rock and roll quite as much, besides the Rolling Stones, as Led Zeppelin. And you had that. And everything on this album, Living, Loving, Made, Heartbreaker, Lemon Song, the hits go on and on. That's for me what I like about it. It's got the energy of one, but I think more polished arrangements. And I think, some of that arranging is also on 4, obviously. But I feel like, and as great as 4 is, I feel like there's something about the young Zeppelin that is just so rowdy and contagious and ruckus and fun. And I think this album is the perfect blend of what I like about 1 and what I like about 4. So Zeppelin 2 it is.
You sold me. I need to go
it's
back and listen to it.
So good.
Lately, I've been doing these TikToks where I just randomly pick an album from here, and and talk about it. And one of the first ones I picked was Houses of the Holy, and it was the first time I listened to Led Zeppelin on purpose in like years, probably.
Yeah, you forget about them because
they're so woven into the fabric of
Yep.
music, you just take it for granted.
Classic rock in general, I think with certain more casual listeners, let's say, like, you know, oh, my mom or dad like showed me this, like, you know, people still listen to it, but I feel like a lot of us, like the music nerds, like we think we're above certain listening to certain artists consistently. It's like, oh, like, yeah, well, that's Boston or that's whatever.
Yeah,
that's
dude, Boston is crazy.
They're all awesome. They're all awesome, and I think that it's almost like they're so known and popular that it's almost like we've overcompensated and don't give them the love and the credit they deserve, in a weird way. And I think Zeppelin's a really good example of that. I mean, something that keeps them a little lower on my list than some others is I think the songwriting doesn't always belong to them necessarily.
Sure.
But you have to give it to them for the sound they were able to create. And I really believe they created so much of what rock came to be because of that sound, because of Page and John Paul Jones and Bonham and obviously Plant's voice, you know, because the one of the reasons that I was sold on Zeppelin so young is Plant's voice, which is funny. I feel like everybody has a different in to Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was his voice. And so that's why it bothers me when it doesn't sound a certain way, because that was something that really sold me on them at a really young age. And as I got older, I mean, Page is my favorite guitarist of all time, probably. Probably goes Page. Then I feel like I have to put Hendrix number 2. I'd probably put David Gilmour number 3. You didn't even ask, but that's my 3. Angus Young's my 4.
No, oh, wow, okay. Yeah,
And then probably Eddie Van Halen 5.
So nowhere in there was George Harrison. I'm kind of shocked.
He's in the 10. He's in
the 10, okay.
I just think, like, you know, Ringo Starr is my favorite drummer. Same reason as George, like very original, very for the song.
Yeah.
But I think Ringo's style was so one of one. And not that George's isn't, but, you know, when it comes to guitar, I think it's also what you're looking for. I'm looking for not super flashy necessarily, but, you know, a little more of that than maybe I'm looking for with drumming. You know?
Mm-hmm. So how would you say this album in particular, Led Zeppelin 2, if it did, influence the new album and what you've been working on?
Not sure when this is coming out. I would assume it's going to come out after the second single I'm about to drop, called Wives' Tale.
Yeah.
I've
heard Wives. I've heard you play that.
I'm a man of my word.
Yes,
song.
I've heard you play that a lot at shows.
Everybody loves that song. That song in particular, when I was writing that song, which I don't know if you're going to keep this in or cut it out, but
I'll keep it in. We'll do it after.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, this would be cool to like put out during this next single run.
Yeah.
But anyways, when I was writing Wives' Tale, I was picturing myself as if I was the character on Zeppelin 4's cover, like, you know, the old man in the woods type vibe.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of like lyrics in Wives' Tale, like I'm a man of my word. I don't know, darling, what you've heard. Go and tell of the stories you know, how the grass and the gardens would grow. And then the second verse is, I'm a man of the hills. I was there before the oil spilled. I was there before they found all the gold on the rock neath the ages of old. These very like Led Zeppelin-y style, like Stairway to Heaven-y sort of lyrics. Yeah. So I was picturing myself like that. And then all the sounds I was trying to curate with my voice and with a lot of the guitar. I mean, it's kind of taken from all sorts of records like this one and Houses of the Holy as well with No Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, specifically the era of them, I was trying to channel with the energy and the vibe is, you know, kind of this second record here. I think just like Zeppelin really appeals to, you know, I think the casual listener, but I also think obviously us music nerds can appreciate it the same. And I think that Wives' Tale does that as well. Like whenever I play Wives' Tale, like the Frats, like everyone's all about it, or at Roadhouse, everybody's all about it. But like, you know, if I play that at Eddie's Attic, the same thing, guys who really have like good ears also love that song. And I think that that's a really hard thing to do, is to create a song that is universally accessible. Because, you know, you and I, we were talking about this, like we love all sorts of music, like Pavement and Silver Jews were a few things we were mentioning. That's not accessible to everybody.
No.
You know, and I don't necessarily want to be accessible to everybody all the time, But I think this song is a really good example of me being that, maybe for the first time in a long time. Like, I don't think I've been this universally accessible since the Corduroy Blue, than I am with Wives' Tale.
Do you feel that way about the whole album?
No, not necessarily. I feel that way about the singles. I think Love Bombs is pretty accessible. Even more than I felt about Power Pop, because Power Pop had real like poppy hooks and stuff, but the sound was very tinny and very like, I was trying to go for that big star thing.
Yeah.
And like, if the Beatles songs weren't so good during like Revolver and like Magical Mystery and like that also wouldn't have been universally accessible, but the melodies were so good that it was. But I'm talking about the recording quality and the production and style. Their songs just happen to be like generational. But like that recording style was what we were doing, that more compressed thing. That's not as universally accessible as what I'm doing on this. We recorded this at Reel to Reel Studios. Funny enough, the last time I recorded there was the Corduroy Blue.
Oh, whoa.
So that's why I think that's the link there. I didn't even realize it until I just said it. The link is these more high def recordings. But also, because I'm always going to write hooks. When you combine that with the high def, I think it creates a more universally accessible thing. But I think one thing we did more on this than the Corduroy Blue was I wanted it to be high def, but I still wanted it to have my more raw sound that I've been going for solo. So I think we achieved that, and that's why I think this one, even more than the Corduroy Blue, still appeals to the critics, to the, to the more maybe like critical ears.
And
to
who
the music
produced
nerds.
this one?
This one was the Three-Headed Dragon that did the whole record, which is Caleb Heupel,
Nice.
Brian Collins,
Cool.
and Will Turpin from Collective Soul.
Very
So
sick.
all three of them produced kind of all
I figured
three.
Caleb was still in the mix.
Yeah, Caleb's still in the mix. The way we describe it, this one is Brian's the guy in the chair doing a lot of the engineering. Will is like, no, not that. No, that. And really focused on the rhythm of everything. Like he's a master of percussion, of rhythm. So like, he was the one that was basically doing all the drum and bass edits and stuff. And even when I'm playing guitar, it wasn't really about the notes. He wanted to hear the rhythms of what I was playing.
Yeah.
And then the way I describe Caleb in this process is, we're going to Will and Brian's studio. So for them, they're like, how can we make this record the best it can be? Caleb comes in and says, how can we make this sound like Atticus? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
and
knows you so well.
Yeah, exactly. And there's that distinction there. That's why he was so necessary. And I think it's worth saying on this pod that Caleb took a big pay cut to work with me on this because, we're indie artists. We can't afford everything all the time. And we could have recorded this with him at his studio at the farm and, would have been half as much, but he would have taken most of that money home. And he believed in this record, said, I'm not going to get you what Reel to Reel is going to get you. And I'm willing to do what needs to be done to make sure that it gets done there. So I want to, shout out Caleb big time for that.
That's awesome.
He didn't have to do that, but he did.
He's the man.
He's
really great at what he does and just a good guy overall.
So with this record, they all three produced it. And Will Turpin specifically, which is a big moment for us, played bass on the track.
Cool.
So, we have Collective Soul bassist on the track. And
which one?
also,
all of them? Or
no, just this song. This was the main one he wanted to do.
this one being
Wives' Tale. Sorry, yeah. Wives' Tale, and then a song called My Congratulations he did.
I love that one.
Yeah,
Great opener.
Yeah, really cool. That was like specifically to be an opener.
Yeah.
It's more like a thematic thing than anything else. And then what else did he play on? Eyeliner, another track on there. Eyeliner.
Nice.
And then Radley, of course, our boy, played on everything
Yeah.
else. Steven played the drums. But
To me, it feels like this. I don't know how you feel. Maybe everybody feels this way, the newer stuff they do. But to me, it feels like the most you so far. And they all, not that the others don't, of course, but it feels like you're like, I don't know, honing in the sound and getting more unique.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that with the first one, it was very clear who I was emulating, like Elliott Smith and Bob Dylan. Power Pop, very clear who I was emulating, the Beatles and Big Star. With this, I don't know that it's that cut and dry necessarily.
No.
I think each song you could point to things like...
I wouldn't have necessarily thought Led Zeppelin.
No,
But
and
now
really
you
that
say
one
it.
only was Wives' Tale, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
I think that their ethos is throughout the record. But like, Eyeliner's got the Kinks on it. I'll Have Fun, Harry Nilsson, Satisfied,
Yeah.
Wild Horses, Rolling Stones. Love Bombs kind of, I don't know, indie surf rock. I don't know.
Yeah, it also feels cheekier. This
Yeah.
whole album feels cheekier than some of your other stuff. Like you're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. And we did. What's weird though is we had a lot of fun, I think, as guys in the studio, and like there's a lot of moments I point to that. My Congratulations has all sorts of fun stuff in there. There's going to be, it's not even on there yet. We got some Sitar Nick stuff going back on there.
Nice. I was wondering, and that was also what I was going to say is like, it's funny, you're beating me to all these things I'm going to say, but it's also, to me, more psychedelic than anything you've done.
Yeah, so we had to have him on there.
I was wondering, because I was listening to My Congratulations. My
Congratulations, yeah.
On the, like, before you got here, and I was wondering if there was sitar in it, because you are more comfortable sitting in the one and like sitting on that one chord for a longer period of time.
And that song specifically.
Yeah, that one specifically. I'm like, well, that's a great thing for, some sitar. So I was wondering if it was in there and I couldn't hear it.
No, it's not there yet. And so we'll have it in there. And then in the song Rubber Soul, which is just all references to the Beatles.
Yeah.
I do that one part in the solo that's Norwegian Woods melody. And I'm going to have him do the sitar over just that part.
Yeah.
To drive that point like home.
I need to re-listen and see if I can clock that.
Yeah, if you that's what I think is great about this record. Like you said, I think it's cheekier. Like the Rubber Soul, if you listen, every single song off Rubber Soul's title is in that song. So that's why I call it. Yeah. So that's why the lyrics don't make any sense, because I'm just like making words to fit, like phrases to fit each song title, basically.
That's so funny. I can't believe I didn't clock that. I'll have to listen to that one again.
And like Eyeliner, maybe my favorite guitar solo, because we have access to all these amazing amps and equipment at Reel to Reel Studios. And, we've used everything under the sun at this point, like tried all the expensive stuff, all the expensive guitars, all the expensive amps. So we're listening to Eyeliner and we're going for that Kinks, like almost like Garage Hives sound, garage rock sound.
Yeah.
And so Brian, who I would say like guy in the chair, but also kind of our like big idea guy, like, they don't all land, but when they do, they're really, really great ideas. And he was like, why don't we just go for the exact opposite of what we've been doing? Like I have this $5 amp in the closet, get you that like really squeaky, tinny, old sound. So, and it ended up being my favorite solo on the whole record is on Eyeliner. That solo is through like a $5-10 like so Blues cool. Junior or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also going back to Wives' Tale, Preston from the Stews played the guitar solo on
cool.
That. So
nice.
we have a really great cast on that song in particular, and I think that song is going to be, to me, that's the song. That song is the motor of the record. It's the longest one. I think it really embodies.
What was the first one that came writing wise, or maybe
record?
even just like whatever whatever song felt like.
What's funny is I how this can be as a songwriter. You do things out of order sometimes. Yeah. Triggerfinger and Wives' Tale.
That's my favorite, Triggerfinger.
Yeah, that's
at least off of first
that's
couple
a great
listens.
That's a great song. Triggerfinger and Wives' Tale I wrote before I started Square One. I wrote Triggerfinger and Wives' Tale both before that. Triggerfinger I wrote before the Corduroy Blue was done.
Wow.
I thought that was going to be a Corduroy Blue song.
That's so crazy.
Which is funny because it has some of that like bombastic thing I think we were doing. Like that was going to be a Corduroy Blue song. So was Wives' Tale. Those were both going to be Corduroy Blue songs. But Triggerfinger was first. It was like, I think I wrote that in like November 2022.
Wow.
And so, it takes a while for this stuff to get going. But I knew for a fact that like, things happen. After Square One, I was like, I got really into power pop, like the specific genre itself. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Triggerfinger's too Bob Dylan, Velvet Underground. So I was trying to go for like lyrically and like with my voice. And Wives' Tale just takes up too much space. Like power pop, I think the beauty of that record is like all the songs are good, but it's the sum of its parts that makes it, I think, really work, because it's all like just pieces of this one puzzle. Mm-hmm. I think Rock and Roll Hit Parade is really like my version of my greatest hits at this point. Like I was just throwing different ideas.
Yeah. And
like I feel like that's why I called it Rock and Roll Hit Parade. It's as if you're like watching a parade and these 13 very different characters come out and they're walking. And the point was that they're all pretty different and they're all pretty diverse, and that they don't necessarily feel like they would work, but then they do work all together really well.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear you say that, because at no point did I ever feel like I'm being pulled in too many different directions. Like there's a clear core in it, to me at least. now I want to re-listen and see if I can like
feel that
notice
difference.
the lines between them.
Yeah, we did a good job with that because what you listen to, that's the final track listening to, and I think we did a good job
in that
sequencing
order.
that. Yeah. But yeah, so Trigger Finger and Wife, so I've had for a long time. But that's the thing is, I knew it wasn't right, and I literally wanted to create. I honestly created Rock and Roll Hit Parade for Wives Tale. I was like, this song is maybe my best I have. I want to create an album where like this can like feel like where it's not feeling like it's so different or so out of place. And so I just made a total rock and roll record to fit with that. And then all these other songs came out of me like crazy, like Love Bombs and Eyeliner and My Congratulations. I knew the second I wrote that, I was like, whatever album this is on, this is going to be the intro. But you know, I'll Have Fun and Satisfied were two really cool, like last minute additions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll Have Fun is one of my favorite songs. The band doesn't like it as much because it's not fast enough.
Because it's not fast enough.
Yeah, because you know it's got the Donovan. Like they all just want to rock and roll.
Yeah, of course.
I love that song. It sounds like an unreleased, like it's like a mixture of like For You Blue by the Beatles and then like some weird Sunshine Donovan song. Satisfied is probably my favorite song on the whole record.
Whoa.
Maybe my favorite song period that I've ever written. Like, you know, you kind of like, I think once in a lifetime, I feel like lyrics like that come to you. And if you listen back, there's some really cool lyrics about just like the longevity of a love relationship in that song. And so anyways, we're way off topic. We're talking about Wives Tale, but here we go. Okay. We're just chatting, right?
That's all it is,
a couple
man.
blokes having a chit.
I'm curious what lesson you've learned from this project that you would probably incorporate into your next eventual project.
Yeah. I mean, they say that your brain's not really developed till you're about 24, 25, 26. And so I feel like that's very much rings true. Like, you know, I think since I was 16, like I always saw songwriting as this like catch a firefly and put it in a bottle. Like you never know when a good one's going to come. And so you got to make yourself available to it. And like, oh my gosh, they're like, oh, and like, you know, it's like this amazing, wondrous thing, which I kind of envy that a little bit. But I've kind of, as I've grown, it's not so much lightning in a bottle to me or firefly in a bottle to me anymore. It's like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to write a song. It's kind of more like clocking in a little bit. Like, not that the wonder is gone at all. It's more like I just have like refined my process and I'm like, I know how to go in. I know how to write a good song. You know, I think ideas surprise me a little less. Like I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And on top of that, I know how to go into a studio and like, we're not just going to noodle on every instrument the whole way through. Like I know how to, and with the guidance of the three-headed dragon, I keep calling them, like they were very insistent on like, that's overplaying on that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, let your voice,
They're
like, your melodies are awesome, dude. Like let your voice do the weird stuff. Let your voice do the runs. Let your voice do the weird. If you listen back, the amount of times I say no or like over and over, there's so many of those
the ad libs.
Yeah, ad libs. So like they're like, let your voice take that space. The guitar solos do their thing. Let everything else serve as the belly of the song. You know, let it be a place where everything can rest on. And I don't know if I understood that when I first started making music, but I very much understand that now to the point where I can go in without them and use that.
Yeah.
That train of thinking, that, you know, that line of thought. And it works. That process works. Like, because at the end of the day, if you're overplaying on everything, it doesn't feel like a song. And
man. Yeah, there's some students I teach guitar that when they want to solo, like, or they just want to play like the hard rock stuff, like there's you can't really teach taste. And I know that people say that all the time, but as somebody who teaches guitar to students, it's like, I don't know how to make you see that
can't teach it.
There needs to be some space between these notes.
No, but I think you do have to. I don't think you can teach taste, but I think you can live through taste, and I think you can show taste. Like, I think that's not something you're going to be able to say, this is what you should do instead, but it's more like just continue to be the guy that has a bit of it. And I think, like, I can attest for me, I watched people do it, and I listened, and I saw the results of taste. Comfortably Numb is the greatest guitar solo ever.
So sick.
That is the definition of taste. Hotel California is probably number 2. The definition of taste, obviously talent, But that ending part where they're doing that harmony, it's not that hard. It's just the fact that they're choosing amazing notes and they're harmonizing with each other. This guy's the example of what not to do necessarily, but it works because on his solos because he couldn't recreate it twice. But the riffs are an example of taste. That's some of the best riff making of all time.
Yeah.
And
is it Heartbreaker that has the like everything just stops and
crazy
he does
soul?
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a weird one, and you're like, where did you come up
But
with
he can
this?
get away with it because I think that I will say, to be devil's advocate, I think that you have to learn about taste to be able to break the rules of taste.
Yeah.
Like I think that he clearly knows when to be restrained. I've heard it many times, so that when he doesn't restrain, it feels like it's a choice for the song. Also, a different type of band, right, than what I'm trying to do. Like, I can invoke some of their stuff in my music, but I'm a melody maker. Like I'm a tunesmith in that way. I'm not really like we're not a 4-piece wizardo band in that way of like we're all going to be maestros all the time, and that's what you're going to be thinking about with my music. With my music, what I hope you're thinking about is after it's over, the chorus.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm the same way. It's pretty much it's melody and rhythm over anything. I'm not interested in, wankery guitar solos and
not
stuff.
interested in wankery. That
I'm not. Atticus, well, I know that we can usually go on a very long time, but nowadays I'm trying to keep the episodes
Let's
a
keep
little
it chill.
shorter.
Yep.
So why don't we take this over to the last 5, or we're just going to pick 5 quick questions from this bowl here. But before we do this, anything you want to plug that's coming up, any shows or anything?
Yeah. Well, the big one, I mean, I
You
just
got a
announced.
tour.
Yeah, I just announced the tour. We're going out west, so Houston and Austin. We'll be seeing you guys this year, which would be really cool. But the biggest one is the album release show, September 5th at Vinyl Center Stage, with Flat Tired, Shock T, and Preston Hall of the Stews. Really cool lineup. I'm gonna have some special guests come up, and we're gonna have a really good time out there. Just gonna play the record all the way through.
That's so
Maybe
sick,
a
dude.
Corduroy Blue appearance.
Whoa, hey.
Who knows now?
I hope so.
I mean, him and I are brothers. We can make that happen.
I know.
Here we go.
You can put this over there. Like I said, guinea pig. I don't know how I'm doing the bowl
No, it's
situation,
perfect.
but
It's
you
right.
can just kind of set it on
It's a bowl, which is a good start.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Number 1.
Best album covers. Well, this is a really great chance to. This is a great question, and it plugs into something that I want to say. It's not necessarily the best album cover, but it's one of my favorite, and it was the one that inspired us for this album cover. Because I don't know if you saw that on the sample. It's a really cool album cover. The one for this one, the Rock and Roll Hit Parade cover.
I don't know if I saw
It was like
it.
the 13 of Me.
Oh wait, yes.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
cover. So obviously a little Sgt. Pepper there in terms of the like, where is he?
Mm-hmm.
But Double Fantasy by John Lennon, where he's got it says like Double Fantasy, John and Yoko, like the specific spacing for where he puts the letters, and the exact font that he used is on our album cover.
Oh, cool.
And I think that album cover is just glorious. I think it is. Double Fantasy is also one of my favorite John records. Sad that was the last one he was able to complete in its entirety before he passed away. But anyways, so yeah, Double Fantasy for sure.
Nice.
Let's go to the next one here. Cover by Aidan McGeehee for mine, by the way. I want to shout him out. Really great graphic
Shout
designer.
out Aiden.
All right. Dream artist, produced or to work with. Let's see. Well, I would say an artist that I would love to do like a collab song with. It would basically just sound like my song or their song would be the Lemon Twigs.
Oh man,
I think that would be
I
a
can't
really
believe we
cool-
didn't talk about the Lemon Twigs
I know.
yet.
I feel like that would be a really cool thing because we occupy the same like field, but we play very different positions. Like I think they go more in that like dreamy Todd Rundgren Beach Boys thing.
Yeah.
I tend to go a bit more blokey, like Oasis, Lemonheads, a little more,
Definitely.
yeah, a little more like, average footballer bloke guy. But
Yeah.
with the Beatles are the ring in the middle.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Man,
I mean,
that new album is just unreal.
It's wonderful.
Back to
my
back to
favorite.
back.
My favorite is still Everything Harmony. Personally.
Yeah, I think I like the one in the middle the most.
Oh, the Dream is
The
all
Dream
we know.
is all we know. I think
Really great record.
hit song for song. That's my favorite.
This new one's really good too. I think that it's a little. I like the other two before it a little more because I like the high def recordings that we got mixed with that style of songwriting. That's always going to be my favorite thing in the world. But as a guy who loves 60s rock, you have to love this new one.
Yeah.
Dream producer, Caleb Heupel. Oh, wait. I already get to do it.
Shout out Caleb again.
Let's see. Musical hot take. Oh, I said something the other day.
I know you got some hot takes ready to go.
What did I say the other day? I think that... Oh, I have a good one. George Harrison's second album. So you remember, keep in mind, All Things Must Pass is a long triple album.
Yeah.
3 discs.
I do forget that.
6 sides. That's like a whole vacation.
Yeah.
The second album, Spirits in the Material World, I think it's called.
Is that the one with the hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, disclaimer. If All Things Must Pass was condensed into even a double record or a little smaller than a double record, would be maybe one of the best albums. I mean, already is one of the best albums of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe the best album of all time. I will prefer almost every day, twice on Sunday, a full listen through of his second album over his first.
Yeah.
I think Spirits in the Material World, in terms of what an album means to me, full listen through, is better than All Things Must Pass.
It's a good take.
I'll
be honest, I don't know that one as well. Funny enough, I have it on vinyl.
Dude.
My dad bought it for me.
I saw it in there. You have to listen to it.
Yeah. You know which one? I'm going to throw out a hot take. I think his underrated album is Brainwashed.
Yeah, I think that's a really good album.
It's a really great album.
It's, to me, he has like really good songs throughout his career. First 2 albums are masterpieces, and his last one's maybe the third best. I think Brainwashed is his third best.
It's so good.
But I'll take Spirits in the Material World in terms of like, if you handed me said you're going to listen to one right now, the 5 best songs of All Things Must Pass are 5 of the 50 greatest songs of all time.
But then the rest.
But it's also it's still enjoyable. Like it's fine, but it's too scatterbrained for me. You know, I mean, another hot one. I even feel a little. The White Album's still in my top 5 Beatles albums of all time. I feel a little bit like that as well about the White Album. Like
somebody had to say it.
Yeah, I'm just a bit. And we do this all the time as a band. We literally just like only just have autistic conversations about the Beatles, and we're like, if you could condense the White Album into like even 14 songs, that might be their best album.
Yeah,
you know,
I
but
agree.
It hurts albums when they're like. And I'm about to put out a 13 track record, so I'm not over here like shortening things. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that like, you know, we don't need 25. Like, give me a deluxe version. Yep. You know, but All Things Must Pass should be his 14, 15 greatest songs. Whatever. Give me Spirits in the Material World. I have a lot more hot takes, but we'll save that for off the air.
Okay.
Like I've been flamed for some of my takes, but it's just how I feel.
I love it, man. All right, number 4, right?
See. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know I'm taking a while, but it's just too much fun. Who do people often say you sound like? I mean, what's funny is with the Lemon Twigs rise, like I never got this because I've been doing music now a long time. Like I started playing shows in like 2016. And so it's almost been like 10 years of playing live. Mm-hmm. And so like, you know, the first 3/4 of it, nobody even really knew who the Lemon Twigs were on like a larger scale. Mm-hmm. But the last few years, everyone's like, do you sound like the Lemon Twigs, or do you know who they are, or whatever? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know who the Lemon Twigs are. I've seen them twice. So I get that.
We were at the same shows.
Yeah, exactly. Matthew Sweet is another guy I get compared to.
I know Matthew Sweet.
I mean, you know, John Lennon I get, which I love. George Harrison I get, which I love. What's funny is Paul McCartney was my favorite growing up, and he still is probably the guy I go to like when I need to like inspiration to write a song. John's my favorite Beatle right now. We don't have to get into the personals at all, but in terms of like, in terms of like who I think has the best band for band, who of the Beatles songs I like the most, there's more John songs in there than anything else. But Paul, there's something like deep in my soul about Paul that I just really resonate with. I don't really get Paul very much. I get George and I get John a lot more. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've gotten Oasis, Liam Gallagher, for sure. Yeah. Because of that grit in my voice, I think that I can get. Big Star, you know, all the classics.
You ever get Elvis Costello?
I've gotten that before, especially on our song Last Year's Words. It was just This Year's Girl. Yeah. I just changed the lyrics.
Yeah.
And so I'm not afraid to like shout out where I get stuff from. I wear it on my sleeve. I make a playlist for it and pin it to my Spotify profile. So if you want to know where I'm like low key ripping things off, you can go there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, trying to think if there's somebody else in particular. I mean, again, with this album, we really did a lot of different stuff. So like, there's a lot of there's some Neil Young on this. There's some like a lot of Stones on it. I mean, but yeah, I would say, I mean, I've gotten Bryan Adams for my voice before.
Whoa.
Brian, yeah,
With a B.
with a B. Yeah, that's
a pretty
about it.
comprehensive
Yeah,
list.
some good stuff. Then last one, right?
Yeah, last one.
Oh, this is a good question. Let me get a sip of. I was gonna say sip of water. Y'all get a sip of water real quick.
A sip of coffee.
The best and the worst decade of music. I'm gonna go ahead and exclude. Like, we're not gonna go.
Yeah.
Like 40s.
Pre-60s is
Pre-60s.
out.
Okay, pre-60s and out.
think. You can make an
It
argument
depends on
for
how you
50s,
mean.
but-
Like, the 2010s are definitely the era that I personally know the least of the good music and know the most of the bad music. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I
Sure.
know there's really great music from that period.
Yeah.
It's just the decade I'm least familiar with of the good stuff. Like, I've gone back and listened, but like my dad, is one of my, I've talked about it a lot, like big inspiration. It's both parents, raised me right, obviously, but my dad was like the music guy in the house. And so, that was the era I was growing up, and we weren't listening to the radio. I wasn't like listening, like I wasn't allowed to put on what I wanted necessarily. Like, it was like, you're in my car, you were going to listen to The Clash. We're going to listen to ELO.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to Queen. Like, that's what it was growing up. So the 2010s, I didn't get much of it except for what was on the radio, which is, I mean, there's some bangers, obviously. And there's
Sure.
like, and it's more nostalgic based than anything else. Like, I like the 2010s for that. But I'm going to say that just because the good stuff I'm still getting familiar with.
2010's worst. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
It's okay.
and then-
we.
Yeah, I know. Because I feel like you probably know a lot of heat from that period. So that's why I'm like,
Yeah, I'm a little more like that was usually I will say that's the best for
Yeah.
me, but that's because I was, growing up. I was getting into high school around then in 2010.
How old are you? 42?
42. Yeah, really close. I'll be 30 this year.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. That's wild.
But
When's your birthday?
September 29th. We're
Wow.
both Libras.
We are. Look at us.
Yeah.
Exactly. I knew we got along.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I mean that era, and then I always answer this question like I feel like if you actually give me, we're gonna define decade as a span of 10 years, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path and say
I know where you're going.
we're gonna say 65 through 75.
Yeah. That's the kind of the right answer.
To me, that's the peak of music.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, you get the best of the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
You get Queen. You get. I think you get like. Even guys who were starting to get famous like late 70s, like you're starting to get some of their early work as well.
You get Stevie Wonder in
you
there.
get Stevie
his 4
Wonder.
big
I mean, you
albums.
get like early Bee Gees, which I love. Obviously, you get Queen. You get Sabbath, Zeppelin, Big
Yeah.
Star.
the true like
The
explosion
Doors,
of everything.
all the great soul music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really great jazz. Like that period, there's so much happening. Soul, jazz, rock and roll, folk, pop. There's so much. There's so much happening in that 10-year period. It's just hard for me to. I mean, that's my jam. That's my shit right
Yeah,
there.
well, I think that's the right answer, man. 65 to 75. Most people don't think about how you could just do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to
I'm
go
also
like
down
60s,
with
70s, 80s.
I'm also down with like 87 through 97. It's
Mhm.
a nice period too for really great grunge, really great rock, really great pop.
Yeah, well, I've said it before, but you are, you're the one who got me into Teenage Fan Club, and that has become
bandwagon-esque,
such a
bruh.
huge thing. Bandwagon-esque and
so good.
Grand Prix. I mean, those two albums are just
Are
undeniably.
masterpieces.
I love them so much,
Yeah,
and
well,
every
I'm glad I
time
could
the
still
summer
do that.
rolls around, for some reason, I'm like, it's
Oh, yeah.
Teenage Fan Club time.
Dude, yes.
And I've never listened to the rest of them, the rest of their
There's
albums.
some songs. I've listened to them all. Nothing gets close to me to bandwagon-esque, but there's some tracks. There's some tracks on every record.
Okay,
I can give you my Teenage Fan Club for Dummies playlist.
please. Do
I
you
have
have
that
one?
for I have. I don't think my Spotify profile is public anymore since I went to my name as my artist profile.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier to find it now. But because I got to keep something to myself. But I have like 80 playlists for Dummies based on different artists that I
Oh,
like.
that's awesome.
So yeah, I've got. If anybody ever wants a recommendation for certain bigger artists and they don't know where to start, just hit me up or send me a DM. I'll send you my Dummies playlist.
Nice. I will be doing that for Teenage
Yeah,
Fan Club.
please
Well,
do.
Atticus, Roness, thank you for coming on the pod again for the third time, christening the
charm.
new space.
Beautiful space. You guys can't get the full picture. But he's done a proper job. That.
Well, we'll see how it changes because I don't know if this will be the final setup. But anyway, it was fun to have you on. Rock and Roll Hit Parade's coming out. Love Bombs is out now. Go stream it. Go see you on tour. And thank you again for coming on, man. Always a blast.
Absolutely. Wives' Tale out now too. Let's just say.
Wives' Tale out now too.
Yep.
All right, Atticus. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, boss.
On that note, with Parker Whirling.